Dami i gospoda, започнува програмата Гласот на народот со Слободан Томич на Радио Слободна Македонија. Интеракција 100%. Кажете си се што ви лежи на срцето и тежи на душата. Тука сме да ви помогнеме. Ексклузивни теми, соговорници кои нема да одбегнат со одговори на вашите прашања, коментари или критики. Постоиме за вас. Гласот на народот е клучот на демократијата. Радио Слободна Македонија и Гласот на народот со Слободан Томич во живо. Четврток од 17 часот и сабота од 11 часот.
Добар ден, почитувани гледачи и слушатели на Радио Слободна Македонија, поточно на Гласот на народот. Еве ова издание четврток или 4 мај 2017 година, кога се одбележува 113 години од погибето или смртта на Гоце Делчев великанот. Еве реализирам ова емисија посветена за и околу Македонија и судбината на Македонија. Имајќи факт дека Македонија и натаму е обседната со голем број на сценарија како да нема да се разнебити и како да исчезне од геополитичката мапа на светот. Имајќи факт токму пред 10 години, почитувани, вашиот автор и уредник на оваа емисија Слободан Томич, која реализира оваа емисија денеска на фреквенциите на Радио Слободна Македонија на 96,0, разговараше со господинот Лорен Сиглбергер, кога господинот Лорен Сиглбергер исто така ексклузивно за Гласот на народот упатил порака. Подитно Македонија да влезе во Обединетите нации, односно во НАТО и Европската унија, бидејќи во колку тоа не го сторите ќе се повампири идејата за голема Албанија. Се случи тоа што се случува, некој сака да го направи, но верувам дека нема да им успее. Затоа веќе денешната емисија ја посветив токму за тоа кој посакува и организира државен удар во Македонија и кој ја повампирува идејата за голема Албанија. Емисијата ќе реализирам на англиски јазик, се надам дека ќе најдам на разбирање од ваша страна. Некој од вас ќе можете да го самите да си го проведете, дека не слушате, но за кратко време ќе имате можност и преку сабтайтл, односно преку или синхронизирано да го слушнете и преводот. Dear ladies and gentlemen, thank you and join us in our live program. We are in live on the Radio Free Macedonia. As I say before 2 minutes, I start with my conference by radio connection with Radio Freedom Macedonia 96.0. With us today is my very big pleasure to present you are very special guest and also my guest. It is Giulietto Chiesa, Italian expert, Mr. Wade Mason, former officer of NCA and very famous analyst in America, and normally Umberto Pascali, American analyst. Welcome in our show, my dear friend and my guest. As I say, thank you, Wayne, also. Dear friends, in this extremely tense moment for Macedonia, we have met with us an experiential panel of experts and leaders in the field of information and politics. As I say, Giulietto Chiesa is an Italian journalist, author of Luctero and Politican. Because we have only 55 minutes, but we have very, very exclusive guests, and I will start immediately with our topic, which you prefer, my dear gentlemen, about Kuteda and who want to vampire either for Great Albania. My basic question for all of them is who made Kuteda in Macedonia, and who also want to vampire idea for Great Albania. Mr. Giulietto, I will start with you, please.
Okay, good evening, everybody. I am very glad to have this exchange of point of view with so distinguished members of the international analyst community. Well, I simply would like to tell you that my impression is that what is going on now in Macedonia has to be understood well only if we watch all the entire situation all around, because Macedonia is a piece of a big operation. this, I believe, is going on. And it's very serious, much larger than Macedonia borders. What does it mean? That the center, I don't know how to name this center. I don't know the name of this center exactly. Who are these people? I can guess who they are. Around Mrs. Nuland, for instance, some part of the CIA or National Security Agency and others. I have not all the picture, but it is clear that there is a center which is elaborating a line to destabilize all the center space of the former Yugoslavia and Bulgaria. These are the big points of reflection. Adding to this also the Moldova situation, because the last election in Moldova, the situation in Pridnestrovia, the situation in Bulgaria is changing and not favorably for the Western ideas of Europe. This shows that the European idea of Brussels is losing strength, and there is a change in the population. Very deep changes are going on, very similar, in fact, to those who are happening in the United States, in Germany, and in part in France and in Italy also. That means that they are worried about the change of mood in Europe. For that reason, they are trying to destabilize some places, and this, you can say, the behavior of the NATO. They are forcing the NATO. Where they want Montenegro, they have accelerated the process against the population, evidently, against the large majority of the population, but they are pressing, and in different way. There is, I repeat, Moldova, there is Bulgaria, there is Montenegro, there is Macedonia, there is Kosovo, there is Albania. This is all the round they are looking for changing. And this is very serious because it seems to me. Because they have
I have to interrupt you. Please.
They have a huge amount of money. They have a huge amount of money. All the resources of Mr. Soros are engaged in that. If it is true that he has $25 billion at his disposal, he is using very intensively all this wealth and all those connected with him through the non-governmental organization. And in fact, he is pressing also on Italy. You know that yesterday, according to many sources, Soros was in Italy. Came in Italy and met the Prime Minister of Italy, Mr. Gentiloni. We don't know yet which was the theme of this meeting. There are some suspicions that he is trying to influence the behavior of the Italian magistrates who are beginning some inquiry on the question of refugees.
Yes, Mr. Chiesa, sorry, I have to interrupt you first of all to explain for the viewers. Почиту, значи, ќе се обидам да парафразирам. Господинот Киеза, значи, ја даде оценката дека за ова можна што се случува дестабилизација во регионот, особено Македонија, ги набројува како и Србија, Бугарија, и се тоа е резултанта на администрацијата на Викторија, на Обама, на кај што партиципира Нуланд и под оркестрацијата на Сорос и се тоа. Но како и да е, сакам уште да најдам на разбирање, че имате можност после емисијата, че имате можност да ја синхронизираме. Но како и да е, продолжуваме со разговорот на англиски. Please, can I turn the page again, because we have in time about, I say, 50 minutes, according again about actual situation in Macedonia. You saw the recent development in Macedonia, the pressure in the interfaces the use of the Soros machine, the resistance of our people, and the creation of the Tirana platform. I met at the creation of the so-called Great Albania. Please tell us about your opinion on all this and what do you see the solution of this situation, please.
No, it is. If the question is for me, I repeat that it is very important that the Macedonian democratic forces understand that they are part of a big operation. This is a main point. It's not an internal question of Macedonia. It's clear that Soros and the others, and probably even Brussels, they are pushing with a certain part of a center in Washington. I repeat, I don't know exactly who they are, but they are looking for taking immediately Macedonia inside the process of enlargement of NATO. This is a big question. Immediately after the result of the putsch in Skopje, there will be the proposal to enter NATO. This clear evidence, because it is a pressure also on Serbia, and it is a change of, I believe it is, we are witnessing a change in the political geography of all the center part of Europe, and certainly the best way to destroy the equilibrium now existing or before existing, it is the creation of a biggest, large Albania.
Okay.
That is a unification, Kosovo, Albania, and a part of Macedonia, yep. Which doesn't mean that they are ready to destroy the national formation of Macedonia. It is one of the possibilities. If they don't succeed, they can decide to simply to break Macedonia in different pieces. Why not? This is I would like to hear the opinion of the others, but yep. I believe that they are ready to destroy everything, because the so-called destructive creation.
Yeah, thank you.
They want chaos. And the best situation to create this chaos is disrupt the states which emerged from the former Yugoslavia. It's very simple.
Yeah, thank you. Let's turn the Mr. Wayne Madsen. Wayne, you follow and analyze and carefully cover operation against the country and organization. You saw the procession of the European and U.S. diplomats in Skopje to pressure us. You saw that the group, like to the formal administration, the Nuland people, including the U.S. Ambassador J.C. Bailey, have done against the sovereignty of our country. You saw the visit of the 7th December, formal CIA Director John Brennan in Tirana with Albania Prime Minister Edi Rama, and the subsequent development of the Tirana platform. Tell us where is the leading, please. Wayne?
Yes, well, I think one thing people should realize is that when Donald Trump said that the U.S. would not be involved anymore in Obama and George W. Bush and George H.W. Bush and Bill Clinton nation building or nation creation, it was wrong. Trump is no different than Obama, Bush, or either of the two Bushes, or Clinton for that matter, because he surrounded himself now with national security industry types. His national security advisor, after he fired General Flynn, is now General H.R. McMaster, who learned everything at the knee of General David Petraeus. And there's no bigger nation destroyer than David Petraeus. We saw what he did in Iraq, which has effectively been split into three nations. His fingerprints on Syria and Libya and other places, including Ukraine. He's a Council on Foreign Relations product, as is McMaster. Also, we have We have others surrounding Mr. Trump, like his defense secretary, James Mad Dog Mattis. And I mean, it has really gotten to be a sad state of affairs when we have a defense secretary with the name Mad Dog. Now, how does this play out in the Balkans region? As I said, there's no difference now between Trump. Trump is basically being controlled by these people. And in addition, his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, is very much tied up with George Soros. We heard Trump, the campaigner, talking about Soros. Now we have Trump, the president, assigning wide degrees of responsibility to Jared Kushner, who has been involved in many real estate deals with George Soros, as has Donald Trump in ventures, for example, at Trump Tower in Chicago, was underwritten by Mr. Soros. So essentially, you cannot trust this Trump administration, and we see the proof in that with the fact that he's left Ambassador Jess Bailey in Skopje. He has sent Newland's temporary replacement, this Brian Hoyt Yee, to try to engineer an unconstitutional change of government in Macedonia. The replacement for Brennan as CIA director, Mike Pompeo, is no different than Brennan when it comes to nation building or nation changing or nation creation or nation destruction. Pompeo is a hard right-wing neo-conservative who believes the earth is only 6,000 years old, I would add. So he has no semblance of any sort of, how should I put it, common sense. Brennan, on the other hand, he knew exactly what he was doing because, in my opinion, Brennan was taking his orders not only from Wall Street, but from the Saudi and Turkish and Emirati governments. And so his idea of Greater Albania, which he went to Tirana on December 7th, which in the United States we know as Pearl Harbor Day, the sneak attack by the Japanese on the American Navy in Hawaii. Brennan sort of updated that. His visit was a sneak attack not only on Macedonia, but other countries that may be included or will be included in this Greater Albania, such as Montenegro, the Chameria region of Greece, and
I lose you. Okay, Umberto, because I don't know what happened with Mason. Can you say something according to my question to you, please? You have been with us in the previous very tense times. We are the victim of the attempt coup d'etat. We know that the role played by the Soros machine. You saw the great resistance of our people and our leaders. Recently, we saw that also in Italy, there is a general rebellion against Soros and his human traffic and his opportunity to control the leaders of your country. Also, we saw also the general movement in Europe to abandon the old line of confrontation with Russia. What should Macedonia do in this situation, is your opinion? Please, Umberto, afterwards we have to go with the commercials, the first part. Can you answer, please?
Yes. Unfortunately, we don't have much time because we have opened a discussion not just on Macedonia, but on the situation of the United States and the United States vis-à-vis Europe and above all vis-à-vis Russia, as Wayne was discussing before. I would say the most important question is what Macedonia should do now.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm not in position to tell precisely what Macedonia should be now. My general idea is the population of Macedonia is mobilized. Her heart is in the right place. Keep the mobilization on. Then try.
Okay, please.
Yeah.
Oh.
Questo è il break commercial?
No, era il mio telefono. Go on.
Okay. Dicevo, keep the mobilization going because you have already achieved a lot despite the terrible situation, despite the terrible pressure and so on. On the general situation, I agree with Giulietto, I agree with Wayne. Macedonia, it's a piece on a large chessboard, like Brzezinski like to call the international situation. But what is happening now, the election of Trump, this is the question we have to understand. We don't have to understand from a romantic standpoint. I like him, it's left, it's right. From a very concrete, realistic standpoint, if Hillary Clinton and her group that include Clinton, Bush, it is the same group, and they have a Gestapo, they have an army of destroyers led by a gentleman called George Soros that you have successfully targeted for years. If that gang would have taken the White House, now would be much worse. You would not have a terrible bombing of an airport in Syria. You would have a war, a general war in Syria, general bombing. You would have an Iraqi situation in Syria. I see still now in the media all over the worst, the most vicious attack against a president, against Trump that I ever saw. I didn't see this with Reagan, with Bush, with Carter, with anybody. And there is a reason. A lot of money are spent to stop Trump. Now, not because Trump is doing everything right. He's doing a lot of compromise. And of course, he's getting in, people that were part of the neocon and so on. But look at what happened a couple of days ago.
Roberto, please, I want to ask you, to beg you to understand, and can you concentrate also in Macedonia issue? My great apologies, really, because here I am encouraged to say it's a real dramatic situation. We have a real attack on sovereignty, democracy, like the Republic of Macedonia. So we have one protectorate, if I can say. Macedonia completely not exist like democracy country. Here we have completely octroi government. We like to promote octroi government, like like for European style or the project. Secondly, we have illegal president who elected themselves, who broke the constitution, all the procedure, who maybe will the next stage. So I beg you for understanding, all of you. Can you tell us about this situation? Because somebody like to burn the Burel Barut, the Burel Barut.
Yeah, the situation in Macedonia itself is you have an illegal president of the parliament that was not elected according to the Macedonia constitution, was self-elected because the European the people from Brussels and the various Western ambassadors approved of him. They accepted him. He was not elected by the people of Macedonia. So you have an illegal president of the parliament. You have, though, a mobilization. That's very important because that's the card Macedonia can use. Other countries didn't have that. In Ukraine, people didn't have a mobilization in the street. You have this. You have Ivanov. You have President Ivanov that was able to resist any pressure until now, and is still very much determined. You have a leader like the secretary of VMRO, Nikola Gruevski, who the same. They couldn't stop him with with the corruption. They couldn't stop him with the threat. You have to capitalize on that. But the problem, the reason why I was talking about the situation outside Macedonia, basically we all three are talking about the situation outside Macedonia, because the solution in large part will come from outside. In the sense, the people of Macedonia are mobilizing, and this is the basic element that guarantee until now the independence and part of the sovereignty of Macedonia.
Yes.
But depend on what happened in the United States, what happened in the relation between the United States and Russia. The project of Greater Albania.
Yes, can you come back after the commercials? It's very shortly. Afterwards we can continue. Please. Почитувани гледачи, значи темата како што ви ја знаете, таа е кој направи државен удар во Република Македонија и кој ја повампирува тиранската платформа. Интересни соговорници, по рекламите се враќаме во студиото. Јас сум Слободан Томич. Ќе бидам со вас секој четврток од 17 и сабота од 11 до 12 часот на Радио Слободна Македонија. Да го слушнеме и вашиот глас од Народниот парламент, гласот на народот, на Радио Слободна Македонија. Почитувани, како што реков, значи сме во живо во гласот на народот на Радио Слободна Македонија. Джулието Кеза, Умберто Паскали и Уейд Мейсон во живо, ексклузивни соговорници, значи висок, широк диапазон на аналитичка потенција, да речам, светска, која говори за Македонија, за тоа што се случува во Македонија, кој го организирал овој државен удар, кој повампирува идејата за Голема Албанија. Умберто Паскали продолжува за Голема Албанија. Can you add something about Great Albania, Umberto?
Yes. Very shortly,
please.
On Greater Albania, a project that came from John Brennan, ex-director of CIA, in his meeting on December 7 in Tirana with Edi Rama. The idea, I think, was not just, create a Greater Albania, but to create a war in the Balkans, to create a greater explosion. Because as Giulietto Chiesa was saying before, as Mezza was saying before, you have Greater Albania is targeting basically most of the country, north of Greece, the Chamaria. The Edi Rama claim we have 1 million Albanians. The Presevo Valley, part of Serbia, the same. Kosovo, totally NATO protectorate. Macedonia, they claim Macedonia. Montenegro, they claim Montenegro. If they start a movement to take over in the name of Greater Albania, if they have this cannon fodder, this pawn that will be thrown into this violent insurrection for the idea of Greater Macedonia, you will destabilize all these countries and you will have a reaction. So I think the real reason why they are doing this, they want an explosion. I think they don't control anymore the situation as they used to. I saw, for example, the big hotspot in Syria. Now it's been discussed. There is a procession in Moscow to President Putin. Trump is calling, Erdogan is going, Merkel is going to discuss the situation in Syria. In Syria, there was the bombing of the airport, but there was not the general war, the Iraqi situation that Hillary Clinton would have created. So they will try to create an explosion in the Balkans.
Yes,
but this
Umberto, please.
Macedonia can have many allies in the countries of the Balkans.
Umberto, Mr. Giulietto, because I will ask you immediately after that, Mr. Wade Madsen. It's possible to happen the new Balkan War, because as I saw the same screenplay which made the so-called international community who want to provoke this destabilization in Macedonia, and destabilization in Serbia and in Kosovo, etc., to burn the Bar el Barut, and to happen big war like the new Balkan War. What is your prediction? What do you see?
No, I don't believe that the war will happen soon, because they are preparing this situation. But not all Europe agrees with this operation. The question is that Europe is divided. They don't know what to do now. This is my perception, because the United States have not any clear line. I understand the situation of Mr. Trump. but it is not controlling at all. When I began to speak before, I told that there is a center here in Europe directed by some part of the secret services of the United States, working independently from the direction of Washington. They are doing the same thing in Macedonia, which they did in Ukraine 3 years ago. It's the same situation. Mrs. Nuland is working with the ambassador there, with the CIA there, with a part of the Secret Service of Poland and of the Baltic states. This is a group working homogeneously, but not homogeneously with the United States. I mean, with Trump and those who are there. There is a group working here. And Soros is the real destroyer of the situation. They are using the private money, private and public money, to change the political situation in the center of Europe. This is the attempt. And they are using, this is my view, they are using the vacuum of space which has been created by the situation in the United States. Russia cannot intervene there. It's impossible. Mr. Putin has not any means to influence the situation. They are out of the game. That means, I agree with Umberto, the main question is in your hands, in the hands of the Macedonians. If they will succeed in defending themselves with the people, and my question is to you, because I don't know the internal situation, which is the position of the police, of the army, of the officers. The main question is that it is necessary that the people have something in the hands to help this fight, because the fight, on the contrary, will clash in any way in favor of this operation, destroying. Well, there are political forces. There is a president, Ivanov. There is the chief of the former government, Gruevski. The question is, can they gather a majoritarian part of the people? And even I would say, I am not sure, I have no information about that, but my idea is to verify if all the community of the Albanians are with this plan. I am not sure that everybody, all the community of the Albanian community is favorable to this destroying to the big Albania and to destroying Macedonia. I believe that it is worth to try, if it is possible, a political dialogue inside Albania to preserve the state, The question is to understand that it's a state at stake. The question is to destroy the state.
And Giulietto, sorry, Slobodan, just 1 second. What you say on Albania is very important because inside Albania itself, inside Tirana, there is a war now. There are elections coming out of June 18, something, but there is big disagreement. So there is a push from this gang that I call the Clinton-Obama-Bush gang, with the Soros as their Sturmtruppen. But then there is other party, there is even the Conservative Party or other part of the leading party. They do not agree with the idea. There are mafia faction, but there is also a natural infighting. So the Soros and Oit that comes there and say, no, you Macedonia have to follow our order, we have the Albanians in our hand. It's not totally true. And the resistance of Macedonia has already changed a lot, because changed things inside the Serbia, probably changed something even inside Russia, as perception that a resistance movement could win or could work. And now you're in the middle of a battle, like in World War II. You are in the middle of the Battle of Stalingrad, just to give a reference. And if you win the Battle of Stalingrad, then you change the whole thing. And you can change the situation in the United States, because I think what is really happening here is a war, a terrible war inside the elite, because the solution of Bush-Clinton did not work. And that's why it did not work for the people, it didn't work even for a part of the elite. So this is what Macedonia could do now.
Yes, Umberto Wayne, I'd like to ask you, say, first of all, about the statement of Mr. Donald Trump, which we already know very well. He said immediately when he elected for president that he will stop to be spies, America to be spies in a democracy country about the government, etc. We have different now. Did Mr. Giulietto say also, Mr. Chiesa say that this is a vacuum space? So the criminals, sorry, my vocabulary is very dirty, maybe it's very bad, but it's the people transmit that words, and I like to say the people are very angry. The people in Macedonia are disappointed. They say we are not deserve this kind of life. So we are not, we can't live with remove control, somebody to come to dictate which kind of political sciences we can have. Actually, Mr. Wayne, how you see situation, this very big pressure which made so-called administration of United States or administration still of Obama, Clinton, Bush administration is Soros, who is the king of this pyramid, because he invests so much money to destroy this this country and all of country in this region to promote the new war. Can you say something? Did Mr. Trump can be still observer, or to put his hand on the table and to stop with this activity, or he haven't still yet the power?
Well, I don't think we should put too much faith in Mr. Trump to do anything productively. We do know that his Trump organization received loans from Soros to build major buildings, including one in Chicago. His son-in-law, Jared Kushner, and his daughter, Ivanka Trump, have close connections to George Soros. So we have a situation in Washington where we've got a sort of like the American version of Mad King Ludwig of Bavaria. We have Mad King Donald, who makes all kinds of crazy comments, but he's really not running the show. The show is being run by globalists like National Security Advisor General McMaster, Mad Dog Mattis at the Defense Department, and Rex Tillerson, the Secretary of State. And can be argued how much power he actually has. This could have been an ideal situation for the Balkans, because oddly enough, we now have a first lady who was born in what was then Yugoslavia, Melania Trump, and she has made public comments on the good old days, waxing rather nostalgic for the days of Yugoslavia before all the violence started and the fighting and the civil wars. But as we know, she's been pretty well sidelined, staying in New York City and very rarely making public appearances in Washington. I think if she were allowed to be much more hands-on, as was like Hillary Clinton when her husband was president, or Michelle Obama when Obama was president, we could see some tremendous pressure being exercised from within the White House, from somebody that understands and has relatives living in the former Yugoslavia, and try to impress on Donald Trump, who doesn't seem to be all that interested anyway, in how the Balkans can be turned into the flashpoint for World War III, as it was the flashpoint for World War I. So, yeah.
Sorry, if
we have to go back commercials, Umberto.
I just want to say one thing.
Okay,
if I am here 3 steps from Washington, D.C. I never saw the Soros organization so openly try to destroy a president like now. if Soros gave some money 10 years ago to build the skyscraper in Chicago for Trump, that's okay. But I don't see anything but a really furious will to destroy Trump. If Trump was such a puppet, we wouldn't see that. They are doing everything possible. We have every day a march of the women. The women, for example, white women in majority voted for Trump. The march of scientists, because the scientists I don't know many other march or many other event, insanity inside the college, universities, financed, and this can be demonstrated by George Soros organization, i.e. by the Clinton, Bush, Obama gang. This is a fact, and that's why I think we cannot romanticize Trump, but we're going to say Trump is Soros. It's not. Soros wants to kill Trump politically.
Yes.
And so this gives me some hope. And on the other side, I don't see the kind of program that Hillary Clinton would have had, the real puppet Hillary Clinton would have had in Syria with Russia and so on. It's not proceeding like before. They did this big scandal, Trump, the servant, the agent of Russia. It's not working.
We have to cut, we go to commercials. We'll come back immediately for 2 minutes. Stay with us. Почнуваме да одиме со реклами, се враќаме во студиото. Останете со нас. Јас сум Слободан Томич. Ќе бидам со вас секој четврток од 17 и сабота од 11 до 12 часот на радио Слободна Македонија. Да го слушнеме и вашиот глас од Народниот парламент, гласот на народот, на радио Слободна Македонија. Да, почитувани, како што рекове, во финалето Джулиано Кеза, Умберто Паскали и Вейд Мејсон, наши ексклузивни гости. Еве, моето прашање ќе ги поставам на македонски и ќе го преведам на англиски. Господо, веќе Македонија влага во една нова фаза на незиниот политички момент, кој е досега невиден во една 26 годишна независна самостојна држава, во која да имаме класичен случај како што е експертската јавност, јавното мислење и американските експерти кои што велат ова е државен удар, што по диктатот на една меѓународна заедница, така наречена, се октрουираат, се дефинираат институциите во системот. И моето прашање е дали Македонија заслужува да има вако политички амбиент и што понатаму. My dear friend, I send my question in Macedonian. Did Macedonia deserve to have this kind of political ambient, octroi or dictate like from international community to promote the institution in the Macedonia? Because in past 26 years we haven't like that same situation. Also, the last word can give Macedonian President Georgi Ivanov because he doesn't accept Tirana platform because that anti-constitution and this is very dangerous, and he can't give permission for a second mandate. With Constitution of Macedonia, is only one mandator can be create the government, and he's also the first person if security forces in Macedonia, so-called he's general for the army, he's command for every security forces, and I doesn't like to say did he will announce that some special mandate in Macedonia when the military or the army will have the crucial point. Mr. Chiesa, can you say something apropos everything what they say, how you see the future in Macedonia?
Well, I have no other things to say. The picture you made and the picture I see is that now the question is who will represent the government and not the government only, but the national people of Macedonia. The question is if the President Ivanov will be able to unify the country around himself, because he has the authority to represent the people. Today is the only source of authority. If he loses this possibility, and will mean that the Macedonian people will lose the last possibility, the next government will be done by the ambassador of the United States in Macedonia. This is what I mean. there is no time to wait. The fight is going to the last minute. We are going to the last minute. And now it's a question of the people who understand the big game which is going on. Inside Macedonia, you have to find some kind of unity to save your country. No other way. Outside, you will not have any help.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chiesa. Mr. Vane, in 2 minutes, can you give us one message, one analysis, answer about everything what I said before, please?
Yes, well, I certainly agree with what Giulietto just said. One must remember that the president of Macedonia, President Ivanov, is a product of a democratic decision-making process, elected. The Soros people do not believe that you gain power through democratic means. They believe you gain power through street demonstrations, military coups, foreign-financed political violence. George Soros, his name is Georgie Schwartz. His family and his background is well-rooted in fascist Hungary during World War II with the Nazis and the Nazi government of that country. So we have to remember that's the real Soros, and he doesn't believe in democracy. So the people in Macedonia need to stand with their democratic institutions, the presidency, the government, and not imposed regimes or situations that are totally undemocratic. And Soros, even if you talk about all his commitment to civil society does not mean democracy. Civil society means rule from the mob. And mob rule has never, in my opinion, been successful with the exception of the storming of the Bastille in Paris that brought about the French Revolution.
Thank you.
But other situations are certainly mob rule does not make any sense and is doomed to failure.
Thank you, Umberto. At the end, can you say something according to things that also the VMRO and all the majority say for a real kill for EMPAS is the first election with local to have a good solution at this moment?
Yes, I would say, first of all, the Macedonians have expressed a majority. They have elected a president, Ivanov. Ivanov is the symbol, but also the clear face of the unity of the country. It's a moment of deep crisis. Ivanov, that is an exceptionally honest and intelligent person. I had the luck to meet him and to talk to him when he was a professor. He is the best person, together with Gruevski, to unify the country, to defend the country from this attack from outside. Plus, I would propose now to my two colleagues, Giulietto Chiesa and Wayne Madsen, to start some, a petition, a movement, to sign a document, to mobilize outside Macedonia to support the action of President Ivanov and to create an alliance in a movement in several countries that would support the president and would defend the sovereignty and the freedom of Macedonia. Because Macedonia people have given us an example of resistance. It was not Ukraine, was not Georgia. Macedonia resisted and is still resisting. And I think this is the best guarantee, and the world has a wave of sympathy and respect for the people of Macedonia, and they deserve it. And we want to show our support to the person that can lead the resistance and hopefully the war of liberation, metaphorically, of the Albanian people.
Thank you for joining us, my dear friend. Thank you so much, because today you present very exclusive program on Radio Freedom Macedonia and Voice of the People. Thank you, Umberto. Thank you, Giulietto. Thank you, Wayne. All the best. I'm sure that the next time will be different and very more peace than like this situation which we are now. All the best. Драги гледачи, тоа беа во живо Умберто Паскали, Джилието Кеза и Вед Мейсон, директно од Вашингтон, од Рим и од Вашингтон, значи двајца од Вашингтон, во Гласот на народот. Вие го слушавте и гледате Гласот на народот на Радио Слободна Македонија. Јас сум Слободан Томич, уредник и водител на оваа емисија. Че имате можност да го имате со превод. Денеска сме 4 мај 2017. Пријатно.
Дами и господа, започнува програмата Гласот на народот со Слободан Томич на Радио Слободна Македонија. Интеракција 100%. Кажете си се што ви лежи на срцето и тежи на душата. Тука сме да ви помогнеме. Ексклузивни теми, соговорници кои нема да одбегнат со одговори на вашите прашања, коментари или критики. Постоиме за вас. Гласот на народот е клучот на демократијата. Радио Слободна Македонија и Гласот на народот со Слободан Томич во живо. Четврток од 17 часот и сабота од 11 часот.